This short video details how to update a standard task and a task with a quantity associated with it within every file possession management. First of all, you need to select your P6 file that you're working for over the course of the possession, and then select the task that you're looking to update. Down here we can use the filters to search for a particular discipline or any other criteria that you're looking for. So if we select here OLE, you can now see that we have our P6 schedule selected and OLE. There are 24 tasks that are unstarted. So if we move down here, we can see all these in the standard dialog box. If we select an activity that we want to update, you click on the hyperlink in red to the left. This will open up the activity. At the very top you can see details about the activity, including baseline, start and finish times, and the activity name. And further down you can see a summary of all the particular metadata that was brought in via the P6 program. In order to update a task, you then need to select activities and then activity details. This will bring up a dialog box here which allows you to add information against that associated task. As we're only talking about a standard task with no quantity at this time, the dialog box here is for actual times only. If you open this box here, you'll be able to add additional detail about that task, such as the actual start date or the actual finish date, if different to that of the baseline. Once you've added particular information, you click Save Changes, and that will store that information. And then you move to Change State, where you can now move this activity to a number of areas depending on what its status is. If you click on Replan, this will send this into a bucket that only administrators can see, where it's asking you to add replanning details. You can move it to activity started if it's a long time activity that's maybe got a 6 or 7 hour duration and you just want to register it that it has started. If the activity is going to be de-scoped, then you click this here and it will move into the de-scoped pot. And if you're looking to complete the activity, then you click on complete. Once you've selected your particular status, then you click yes, and that activity will now move into the particular box. If we come back out here, we will be able to see that that activity is now moved into the completed bucket. That's available to view here. It should be noted that if you fail to put any additional information against the timings of a task, the completion information will default to that of the baseline. When updating a task that has a quantity associated with it, there's a little bit of extra information that you potentially need to add when editing the activity. So with our P6 schedule chosen here, we can then go into our filters and we can find the relevant activity that we are looking for by looking at the unit of measure. That's one way of finding. So if we're looking at welds, I can click on this here. You can now see that we have the P6 reference and the number of welds selected. And if we look at our activity here, 2 high stress welds. If we click on the hyperlink again and then on to activities and activity details, we bring up the same dialog box. It's good to note that anything with quantities will have the unit of measure and the quantity in the summary information at the top. If you wish to add any additional information to the quantities, you do this in the same way as you would a time. You can either add a percentage complete if you are looking to provide a status update, perhaps at the end of a shift, although the activity is not complete, or you can put the physical number of items that have been completed. If you tried to change the status of the task with a quantity and you had no information in this area at all, then as with the time information, it will simply default to the baseline information. So for example, if we wanted to say that we have done 70% of the activities of this task at one point, but we haven't completed it, then we just put 70% and click Save Changes and leave it there. If we want to say that we have completed the task, then we can simply put no status in there, and we just simply go to complete. And the task will now be registered as complete here with 100% of the quantities recorded.